Local, live, late breaking. WESH 2 News Sunrise starts now.
A good Wednesday morning, and we thank you for starting your day with the WESH 2 News Sunrise team. I'm Jason Guy.
And I'm Meredith McDonough. Let's begin with a check of the forecast today. Meteorologist Kellyanne Clash joining us now. Kellyanne, off to comfortable yet feeling a little bit warm out there in some locations.
Yeah, temperatures this morning are in the 70s to start, all thanks to a little bit of some wind out of the southeast along with some cloud cover. This is all ahead of our next front that is set to slide through, although this front not making its way into central Florida. So things are nice and quiet this morning, but warm. Mainly in the 70s, couple of 60s, including 69 degrees in Palm Coast, Daytona Beach, and Sanford, about 71 degrees in Orlando, 72 in Leesburg, and 70 degrees in Ocala. So off to a warm start this morning. Going into the afternoon hours, everyone is in the 80s, and we'll also be tracking showers and thunderstorms later on in the day. Coming up in a few minutes, we'll time out that rainfall hour by hour.
All right, Kellyanne. First responders will return to this scene in Baltimore after crews suspended search and rescue efforts overnight. This morning, they'll move into the recovery phase as they look for the bodies of those construction workers who were on the Francis Scott Key Bridge when it collapsed early yesterday morning. The bridge crumbled in just a matter of seconds after it was hit by a cargo ship. That ship collided with a support beam.
And our Hearst correspondent Jackie Diffusco is in Baltimore with a decision to shift from rescue to recovery. Now, this tragedy may remind many Floridians of a similar disaster that happened decades ago in the Tampa area. On May 9th, 1980, 35 people were killed when a freighter got lost in fog and then slammed into the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. Now, the crash caused part of that bridge to collapse, sending 8 cars plunging into the water. Crews rebuilt the bridge, and it reopened in 1987.
Even though bridge collapses like those are rare, a fear of that experience is real. It's called Jephirophobia. It's a fear of going over a high place like a bridge or even subway, but it's not based on height, rather controlled space that makes people feel that flutter in their stomach. One expert says some experience actual panic just thinking about it, and the collapse in Baltimore could make it worse. So this expert recommends exposure therapy to get people used to the idea and gradually work up to actually doing it.
Stay with WESH News for continuing coverage of the Baltimore Bridge collapse. From the recovery efforts to rebuilding and reopening the port, we'll bring you updates on air and online at WESH.com. At 4:34 now, hundreds of children are safe, and authorities say they know who was behind a bomb scare at a local school yesterday.
Wildwood Elementary in Sumter County has students in pre-K through 3rd grade.
And WESH News' Greg Fox talked with students and parents about the scary evacuation from school grounds.
Once again, the sheriff's office has identified the person who they say sent the letter with the bomb threat to that campus, and new charges are expected. Marion County is implementing a year-round school calendar for one of its campuses.
Marion is one of only 3 districts in Florida selected for the pilot program. WESH News' Gail Pascal-Brown tells us which school is getting a new schedule and why. The daily arrival and dismissal times would be the same as other elementary schools as well. Take a look at this video from Port Orange police. 2 cars appear to run a red light and then they crash into each other. Oh my goodness, so unnerving there. Now you can see one of the cars even rolled over. Now this all happened at the intersection of Clyde Morris Boulevard and Herbert Street yesterday. Well, luckily there were no injuries in this. Police say trying to beat or run a red light can have serious consequences.
There are some new details today about a man wanted for carjacking an ambulance and then crashing it near Tampa.
We've learned Gregory McCall is from Lakeland, and WESH News' Megan Lotto tells us McCall is also wanted for a case in Osceola County. And today, Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer and Police Chief Eric Smith will unveil a new roadway honoring Orlando Police Officer Kevin Valencia. A portion of Kirkman Road between Conway Road and Vineland Road will be Officer Kevin Valencia Memorial Highway. In 2021, Valencia passed away from critical injuries after responding to a domestic violence call. The ceremony will take place at South Kirkman Road at 10:30 this morning.
There's a creepy crawly invasion happening now in Central Florida.
The tussock moth caterpillars are back. Why you need to be careful about handling or being anywhere near these caterpillars.
They're back, for some of us at least. Tussock moth caterpillars are being spotted again right here in Central Florida. And just know their hair can cause skin irritation and it can be painful.
Our Brevard Bureau Chief Scott Heidler spoke with someone who has dealt with them and an expert on what to do. It's sat vacant for nearly a decade, but there are new plans to develop the old Flea World site in Seminole County. It calls for 1,000 multifamily residential units, office space, retail space, a hotel with up to 200 rooms, and also an assisted living facility. Developers say that it's the perfect location.
It's like a three-legged stool. Seminole State College, the government center, which is expanding there, and now a commercial center and also a housing center.
Now, once approved, the development is not expected to start until spring of next year and take 8 to 10 years to complete. Central Florida fifth graders are getting a more hands-on learning experience thanks to the Brevard Zoo.
Yeah, the zoo recently got a new 3D printed sea turtle model named Jules. This life-size model helps students understand the anatomy of sea turtles. The Brevard Zoo's conservation learning program is just one of 5 organizations with a model like this one. Zoo leaders tell us we'll be seeing a lot more of Jules when a new learning lab launches there this fall.
An honor for Stetson University.
The school's game design program has made it into top 50 in the U.S. according to new rankings by the Princeton Review. Stetson is at number 43. This is the 3rd year in a row Stetson's made the list. The school says it is investing in the program's success by adding a second computer lab for game design students, upgrading equipment, and hiring more faculty.
Experts from all over the nation are here in Central Florida for the National Hurricane Conference. Our first warning meteorologist Eric Bursch joined in on the fun yesterday by taking a look at some tools available to emergency responders.
So this conference is a great opportunity for us to take the lessons learned from 2023 and figure out what we might do different in 2024.
Our first warning weather team will be at the National Hurricane Conference all week. Our very own Sunrise meteorologist Kellyanne Class will be out there later on today, and she'll have live coverage on WESH 2 News at noon.
Okay, we're turning your attention to your first warning weather because we're going to need the umbrella soon.
Yeah, meteorologist Kellyanne joining us now. Kellyanne, waking up pretty comfortable today, even a little warm, but later on we're talking about those showers.
Yeah, and it's not going to be for everyone. I do think if you are along I-75, you have the best opportunity for scattered rainfall. The further east you live along I-95, the drier your rain chances will be. But right now, things are not too bad. We're at 71 degrees in Orlando, Claremont, Winter Haven, 72 degrees in Leesburg. It's 70 degrees in Ocala, almost 70 degrees in Sanford, and we are at 70 degrees in Melbourne. So some warm air this morning, clouds to start, and then we see some showers and thunderstorms out along the Tallahassee area. The leading edge of that is not making its way into Central Florida, but they sure have some nasty storms out in the Gulf of Mexico working towards Apalachicola and along parts of the Big Bend area, about to cross over parts of I-10. Thankfully, that front not going to make its way into our direction today, but because of that, we will warm up into the 80s area-wide, all thanks to a southerly wind. However, with that front slowly pushing towards the area, it may push some showers that are not associated with the front in our direction. By 4 o'clock, we're looking up to a 30% chance of rainfall. Between 5 and 6, it's 40%, and then eventually going down to 30% by 7. Now, the latest front of Futurecast is actually a little bit drier with a lot of these rainfall coverages and rainfall totals. 1:30, 2 o'clock, couple of isolated showers and thunderstorms along I-75. 6:30, 7 o'clock, we start to dry out, but we will still have some lingering showers late tonight through early tomorrow morning. Then tomorrow morning, right around 6, 7, 8, here comes that front. That'll bring in a couple of showers, some rumbles of thunder. By 10 o'clock, starting to clear up towards our north and west, but along I-4 and southeast, we'll still be tracking some rainfall, and then everyone is clear and dry by 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Now, with that front passing through, we are going to get cooler with temperatures dipping into the middle and upper 70s, and even cooler on Friday as temperatures dip into the middle 70s almost area-wide. High pressure, though, in place for Friday, Saturday, and on Sunday, so that means we are going to stay dry, and we'll also be sunny. Saturday, though, we are warming up to about 80 degrees, even warmer on Easter Sunday at 83. Then look at what happens next week. Our ridge of high pressure is still in control. Monday, plenty of sunshine with a high of 86. Tuesday, still keeping that sun around, but highs near the low 90s.
A local performer is shining on this season of The Voice.
Arletto battled it out to a classic song. All right, we got to look at the performance that has this Central Florida native saving all his love for the knockout round.
And do you know someone with a history of doing good here in Central Florida? WESH 2 wants to know about them. Nominate those with a track record of giving back for a WESH 2 Community Champion Spotlight. Email us the details about your nominee to communitychampion@wesh.com. They could be featured right here on WESH 2 on Thursdays.
Fans don't have to wait for Halloween to see scary movies on the big screen.
As David Daniel tells us, 5 days of fright are right around the corner.
4:54, an Orlando native is shining this season on The Voice.
Arletto of Orlando took the stage with Val T. Webb for an amazing battle round. Take a listen.
All right, let's turn to some other music news. Chris Brown's bringing his 11/11 tour to the Orlando area this summer. The concert's set for July 13th at the Kia Center, and it is the only planned show for Florida. Ticket sales begin this morning. That's the pre-sale, which starts at 10 o'clock. Tickets for the general public are on sale Friday morning at 10 o'clock. This tour celebrates the release of Brown's 11th studio album, which came out last November.
Also coming to Orlando, singer Jhené Aiko with the Magic Hour Tour. Several R&B artists will be performing at the Kia Center July 6th. You don't want to miss it. Pre-sale tickets go on sale this morning at 10 a.m. and general tickets will be made available on Friday.
We're hopping right along toward Easter, which is this Sunday.
Why people celebrating are expected to spend big bucks. Plus, the U.S. Navy Blue Angels are going on tour and taking over the skies. It's all going up right here in Central Florida when you can see them in action.
And this morning, we take you to our Tower Cam network, a look at the tourist district. As you can see, the Orlando Eye, as it's been newly renamed, which just took us back to the original name. Now, this morning, we're comfortable, maybe even you're feeling a little bit of warmth with the 70s where you are. And we're going to be tracking rain for the day ahead. We time it out next at 5.